Well, folks, here we are nearing the end of 2024, and Nintendo is Nintendoing harder than they have been for quite some time. In a season where we're expecting like a fall Nintendo Direct, maybe? Or, maybe, just maybe, that Switch 2 reveal? They give us a string of oddities that, to me, raise the question even more. What the frick is going on at Nintendo? Since our last proper Direct in June, we had a random Direct showcasing the new Nintendo Museum in Japan, but from there things got progressively more nuts. Out of left field we get Alarmo, a Nintendo-infused clock that watches you while you sleep, and wakes you to the sound of Mario coins or Inklings shooting each other, because, who doesn't want that? Whoever thought we'd see the day when a company that's so committed to family-friendly branding they axe entire apps, and in 2024 still don't allow you to talk to people online, that company creates a product that reacts to movement in your bed. Just let that sink in for a second. Anyway, so while the entire fandom was trying to wrap our heads around this thing, pow! They drop on a random Tuesday a trailer for arguably one of the most desired Switch ports for the system's entire life cycle, and factually, the only major port left to blast the Wii U into outer space once and for all. That is Xenoblade Chronicles X, or Cross as it's properly called. And it's not just a port, this thing has remade character models, optimized file size, and even additional story content. Okay, cool, thanks I guess. By this point, we've all dismissed the possibility that a Direct is coming anytime soon, since they likely would have saved a bombshell announcement like that for a bigger stage, right? Right? I don't know. So now what? Well, glad you asked, said Nintendo. How about a devoted music player app dropping completely out of thin air just a few days later? You know, that thing people have been asking for since, the beginning of digital media? While the app has a limited selection of tracks at launch, it's well put together with some pretty nifty features, like being able to play specialized music for specific life scenarios. Like boss battle music when you get into street fights. At the very least, this app might be the beginning of an even bigger war the Big N intends to wage against all of us music-sharing hooligans out there on YouTube, but that's another story. So, following this pattern, according to my calculations, next we should be hearing about, Nintendo-flavored pickles, the announcement that the car from Cruisin' USA is going to be a DLC character in Mario Party Jamboree. There's no rhyme or reason to anything they're doing right now. It's like Nintendo is cleaning out the garage and just putting any thought they've ever had out on the lawn for people to buy. And finally, as I'm putting this video together, literally, Nintendo President Furukawa just randomly dropped a social media post confirming that basically what we've been wondering about for years now. Backwards compatibility for the Switch 2 is indeed a thing. That's freaking amazing news! But why not save that for the official reveal? It's just all so weird. Now don't get me wrong, it's always fun to watch Nintendo be their goofy selves, but all this drives me toward a theory as to what I think it all means. That is, of course, how it pertains to the Switch 2. It's a fact the Switch 2 has been a thing for a while now, and I'm sure dev kits have been out there for a hot minute. I mean, a ton of sources confirmed it was shown behind closed doors all the way back in August of 2023 at Gamescom. This was also the year the Switch's last AAA first-party title, Tears of the Kingdom, came out. It's been pretty much radio silence since then, hasn't it? Furukawa also has confirmed the new machine will be unveiled before the end of the fiscal year, which is any time from now through April of 2025. It just doesn't make much sense to reveal a shiny new console right before a holiday season, as it would likely cripple sales for the current Switch, so I think it's safe to assume the Switch 2 will be both announced and released sometime in 2025. I think we all think that. Which would, by the way, bring the Switch's unofficial life cycle to 9 years. 9 years! I think at the core of Nintendo's strategy lies one question. Going from the commercial failure of the Wii U to what will likely end up being the best-selling console of all time, the Switch, How on earth do you follow that up? The Wii U riding on the Wii brand confused people and played a big role in its demise, but at the same time, you can't abandon the Switch brand without risking just as much because it has one of the biggest install bases of all video game history. I think Nintendo was originally supposed to show us this thing by now, but somewhere along the line, they pivoted.
Pivot! Pivot! Shut up!
They decided to take a hit by dragging the Switch through 2024 and buy themselves some extra time to really make sure the Switch 2 comes out swinging. Because at the end of the day, we all know there's only one real thing that sells a console, and that's the games. I'm betting they pulled all this random stuff like Alarmo out of the closet, and by the way, I bet there's still more where that came from, to keep our attention as they prepare one of the most killer reveals and launch lineups of all time. How else can they approach this situation? I know this may sound a bit insane, but I'm thinking the launch window, not launch day, but launch window, will include the likes of a new mainline 3D Mario to follow up Odyssey, because I mean that came out 6 years ago now, Metroid Prime 4, of course, and I think a new Mario Kart as well. I mean, it's been about a decade since the base Mario Kart 8 came out on the Wii U. The next iteration has to be close to being ready. I wouldn't be surprised if they also had a few other surprise remakes or remasters too, like, say, Ocarina of Time, or maybe the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker bundle we've all been watching for. Now that we know the thing is backwards compatible, if the rumors prove to be true that the Switch 2 is capable of some kind of artificial upscaling for that legacy library, the launch of this new system could potentially prove to be like nothing we've ever seen before. So, what do you think? When will we finally see the Switch 2, and what other random crap will they throw at us to keep us busy? And also, what is with Nintendo and using the O suffix? We got Amiibo, and then we got Labo, Alarmo. What are they, like a breakfast cereal? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys next time, and hopefully soon when a Switch 2 gets revealed. Subscribing and turning on that notification bell is the best way to support a channel. So go ahead and do that now so YouTube can poke you when a new video goes up or when I go live on my streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I also want to give a massive shout out to fans of the channel, who I can only pronounce as Lixley, SL Rhodes, and Kevin Frith. Thank you guys so much, and if you're interested in becoming a fan of the channel, simply click the join button at the top of the home page.